So all this stuff that happened on October 31st, meaning that the verification period has reached its limitation. So the expiration of the state of Israel, meaning that the Rothschilds control the Federal Reserve in the state of Israel by way of the Balfour Declaration that they signed in 1917, right? So both corporations basically went bankrupt. So they basically lost their power. So eventually they're going to get kicked out of Israel. So they're going to try to come over to this geographical landmass to try to reap the benefits by taking this land away from the chosen people, because patriarchy has phased out, right? Because it was under a lunar cycle, right? Which was under the age of Aries, Taurus, and Pisces, right? Which is the clay age, which is galvanized by mankind, who is the Canaanite, right? So with that being said, due to the dematerialization of patriarchy, matriarchy connects you right back to the land, but the land is connected to a certain demographic of people. So this is why they want to hit you with the Snyder Act. This is why they want to hit you with reparations, telling that you came from Africa. They want to give you money by way of the All Aboard project and tell you that they're going to give you some money to move out your own country. So that's how they're going to try to establish order on this planet by way of fictitious forms of technology to give you money and make you sign papers to take you away from your land, because they know that this land belongs to the chosen people. I told you that the solar eclipse, it goes on April 8th, 2024. It goes through 7 cities called Salem, which is a suffix of the word Jerusalem. So the chosen people are in America. And I'm going to break that down in another video, right? So that's why I told you that they're basically nomads. Anybody that's a nomad is connected to a Saturnian energy, because when you break down the etymological roots of the word Saturn, it means a nomad, right? A nomad. So these people they don't have a homeland. So what's next? A stock market crash, Joe Biden impeachment, or he might die. You have the gold standard return under the BRICS nation. Then you got the Iraq IQD exchange rate, and then you got the New Republic that was implemented by Donald Trump on May 4th, 2020. And then you have the liberation and justice that's taking place right now, right? So this is why you have, now anytime that you see immigrants enlist into the United States military forces, that is basically the mobilization of the United Nations military factions, which is basically an unspecified minor military construct army that is created by the United Nations. So this is a form of technology, because they're basically, this is another form of invasion that's going to be taking place on this geographical landmass. So you have to be very meticulous of the people going into these jobs. You got new people coming from you got a lot of people from Afghanistan being trained by United States military soldiers in Afghanistan, and then bringing them over to America at the United States border, the southern border, right? So a lot of people are starting to come into this country, but they're giving off this perception that they're regular people, but they really here because they're connected to the military. So that is another way to subjugate the land and turn it into a police state. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's imperative, to understand everything that's taking place. Now, this movie that's going to be coming out, Leave the World Behind, on November 22nd, it was executively produced by Michelle and Barack Obama. And it tells you right here on the screen in the trailer of the movie that a cyber attack across the country, right? So they got to create false flag operations. I told you that the CIA has an office in Hollywood, and Hollywood has an office in the CIA, because they both work in symbiotic connection under the threefold law. They got to give you the truth before certain things is able to take place. So they warned you, you know what I'm saying? So it's inevitable that a cyber attack, is going to be taking place. Pretty much, miss the message, because when you look at this rabbit, a rabbit is an esoteric codex and an anagram for the word rabbi, because a rabbi means Lord, which is a white hat. So he's holding up a clock. So that means that the time is up for the Israeli Mossad, who is your Khazarian Mafia, or the Canaanite bloodline, which is comprised of your Amorites, your Edomites, and things of that nature, who is being controlled by the draconian archonic entities who are your so-called black nobility. So their time is up. So you got the rabbit or the rabbi, the white hat, showing up the clock, showing that their time is up, right? Their time is up because this system has reached its limits. I told you, when you're talking about how America is actually the true Holy Land, right? America is actually the true Holy Land because on the next solar eclipse that we're going to be having, it goes through 7 cities called Jerusalem, which is the suffix of the word Salem, right? It goes through 7 cities called Salem, which is the suffix of the word Jerusalem. That's what I meant. So the reason that is because this is the true Holy Land. So that's why that lady, she said during an Israeli meeting, she said verbatim that Black Americans are a problem to the Zionist regime. Basically, she said that Black Americans are a problem to the Zionist Jews, basically. And the reason that is because they don't have a homeland. So eventually they're going to get kicked out of Israel. So since they're going to get kicked out of Israel because that the Balfour Declaration basically expired on October 31st on Halloween, right? We're going to get into that problem. It's not Hamas. It's not all these things that's going against the Israeli regime over in the Middle East. She said that Black Americans, because they know that, you know, this geographical landmass of America is the true Holy Land, and we are connected to this land by genetics and DNA and bloodline, right? And they want to take back over this land to implement a social order that's based on a technocrat system, right? So that's why it tells you right here, the earth is now plunging into an uncharted climate territory. Unfortunately, time is up, scientists say, because their time is up. So with that being said, nature has to take back the planet under a matriarchal energy, right?